On June 19, 1981, Céline Dion sang on television for the first time. It was on Michel Jasmin's show, one of the most watched talk shows in Quebec at the time. Céline, just 13 years old, performed Ce n'était qu'un rêve, a song written and composed by her mother, her brother Jacques, and herself. On the same day, the single for this song went on sale, reaching the top 20 in Quebec a few months later. In the summer of that year, Céline, at the invitation of Roger Brulotte, whom she had met on Michael Jasmin's show, sang the Canadian national anthem, O Canada, and the United States national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, on several occasions at Montreal Expos baseball games held at the Montreal Olympic Stadium. On November 9th, her first album, La Voix du Bon Dieu, was released. Most of the lyrics were written by Eddie Marnay, who had previously written for great singers such as Barbra Streisand, Nana Mouskouri, and Edith Piaf. The album sold over 50,000 copies in Quebec. Baldan Bembo, Pierre Tremblay, Thérèse Dion, Céline Dion, Jacques Dion, Daniel Hétu, Émilie Stern, Eddie Barclay, Charles-Louis Potier, Léon Ratier, René Angélil. Also in November, Céline Dion participated in a special Christmas broadcast on a Quebec channel, where she sang Glory Alleluia, accompanied by her family. In early December, less than a month after La Voix du Bon Dieu, Céline released her second album, Céline Dion Chante Noël, containing 10 traditional Christmas songs. The album sold over 25,000 copies in Quebec. Songs, The Voice of the Good Lord, Help, Love Will Come, Around Me, Grandma, It Was Only a Dream, Only a White Bird, Pull the Needle, White Roses. Songs, Glory, Alleluia, The Little Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa's Little Helper, Holy Night, The Forgotten Children, White Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming Tonight, I Saw Mom Kissing Santa Claus, Sleigh Ride, Merry Christmas. 1982. On September 7th, 1982, Céline Dion released her third album, Tellement J'ai d'amour. 9 of the 10 songs were rewritten by Eddie Marnay. The album's first single, Tellement J'ai d'amour pour toi, reached number 3 on the Quebec charts. The second single, D'amour ou d'amitié, reached number 1 and sold over 50,000 copies. The album went on to sell over 150,000 copies and win several awards. Songs, Of Love or Friendship, The Phantom Piano, You Stay With Me, So Much Love I Have For You, Listen to Me, Around the World, Visa for Sunny Days, The Voice of the Good Lord, The Old Man from Rue Royale. In October, Céline Dion traveled to Tokyo, Japan, to participate in the Yamaha World Popular Song Festival, one of the largest music competitions of the time. Of the 1,907 applicants, only 30 advanced to the finals, including Céline Dion, who represented France, and Bryan Adams, who represented Canada. Céline competed with Tellement J'ai d'amour pour toi, a song written by Eddie Marnay and composed by French composer Hubert Giraud. On October 31st, the day of the finals, she won the gold medal in the Best Song category, in front of 12 million people. Live at the festival and in front of an estimated television audience of 115 million viewers. Céline also received the award for Best Female Vocalist, presented by the musicians of the Yamaha Symphony Orchestra. Days later, she returned to her homeland and was greeted at the airport by dozens of fans and her family. Later, she met with the Premier of Quebec, René Lévesque. This was the first time Céline Dion sang in front of an international audience. On November 17th, Céline performed at the Forum de Montréal to raise funds for the airline Québécois. In December, D'amour ou d'amitié was released in France, Céline Dion's second single in the country, following Ce n'était qu'un rêve, released a few months earlier. Unlike the first single, D'amour ou d'amitié achieved a level of success never before achieved by a Canadian artist. On December 24th, the mayor of Charlemagne, Céline Dion's hometown, presented her with a plaque in honor and recognition of the pride she instills in her country, her province, and her hometown, her outstanding singing, and her international stardom. 1983. On January 24th, 1983, Céline Dion was chosen to represent Canada as the new Artist of the Year at the MIDEM, International Record and Music Publishing Market, held in Cannes, France. Céline sang D'amour ou d'amitié in front of 3,500 music industry professionals from around the world. On January 29th, a few days after her participation in MIDEM, Céline was invited to sing D'amour ou d'amitié on the Champs-Élysées program, hosted by Michel Drucker. This was the first time Céline sang on a French television program. Remember this girl's name well? Céline Dion was how Drucker introduced her. The success of the program, which at the time was watched by more than 10 million French people, caused sales of the single, D'amour ou d'amitié, to skyrocket. In the following weeks, tens of thousands of copies were sold, and it reached the top 10. In the following months, Céline Dion traveled between France and Quebec to give interviews, appear on television shows, participate in events, and give concerts. On July 30th, she performed a concert as part of an international swimming competition at Lac des Dauphins in Montreal, in front of 45,000 spectators. This concert was recorded and later broadcast on Quebec television on September 18th. In early September, Céline Dion's fourth album, Les Chemins de ma Maison, was released, once again written by Eddie Marnay. The album included the song Mon Ami m'a quitté, which reached #1 in Quebec and remained there for 9 weeks. The album went on to sell over 100,000 copies. Songs My Friend Left Me, You on Your Mountain, Don't Pity Me, Live and Give, Grandma Blue, Sunshine in the Heart, and then One Day, Hello Mr. Sam, La Dodo La Do, The Paths of My House. In early September, Céline Dion, at just 15 years old, received her first gold record in Canada for sales of over 50,000 copies of the album Tellement j'ai d'amour, as well as her first gold record in France for sales of over 500,000 copies of the single D'amour ou d'amitié. Céline became the first Canadian artist to receive a gold record in France. In October, following the huge success of the song D'amour ou d'amitié, a Céline Dion album, Du Soleil au Cœur, was released for the first time in France. This album contains several songs, as well as the same cover art from the album Les Chemins de ma Maison, released a month earlier in Quebec, and songs from the album Tellement j'ai d'amour, released a year earlier in Céline Dion's home province. The album went on to sell over 50,000 copies. Songs Of Love or Friendship, The Dodo La Do, My Friend Has Left Me, Don't Pity Me, So Much Love I Have for You, Sunshine in My Heart, 4 Steps from Here, The Paths to My House, Hello, Mr. Sam, The Old Man from Royal Street. On October 30th, Céline Dion received 4 Félix Awards, the most prestigious in Quebec music, awarded annually by ADISC, the Quebec Association of the Music, Entertainment, and Video Industry, Newcomer of the Year, Female Artist of the Year, Pop Album of the Year, for Tellement J'ai d'amour, and Most Distinguished Quebec Artist outside of Quebec. At the awards ceremony held at Place des Arts in Montreal, she sang Tellement j'ai d'amour pour toi. On November 1st, La naissance d'une étoile, the first book about Céline Dion, written by Marc Châtel, was released, chronicling her story to date. In early December, Céline Dion's second Christmas album, Chants et Contes de Noël, was released, selling over 50,000 copies. Songs A Child, Sleigh Ride, Why I Still Believe in Santa Claus, Merry Christmas, Celine and Pinot, Four Steps from Here, Carine's Tale, Glory Alleluia, 1984. On August 22, 1984, a new album, Mélanie, was released in Quebec. The lyrics were again written by Eddie Marnay. The title track was dedicated to Carine, Celine's niece, who suffered from cystic fibrosis. Two of the songs, Une Colombe and Mon Rêve de Toujours, reached the top 5. The album sold over 150,000 copies and won several awards the following year. Songs, Mélanie, Sing to Me, A Love for You, Too Young at 17, My Lifelong Dream, Goes Where Love Goes, As We Used to Say, Benjamin, 320, A Dove. On September 11th, at a religious ceremony at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Céline Dion sang Une Colombe for Pope John Paul II, who was making his first visit to Canada. Moments after singing, she had the opportunity to greet and chat with him. On September 17th, about 3 years after beginning her career, Céline released her first greatest hits compilation, titled Les plus grands succès de Céline Dion. The album sold over 50,000 copies, and a portion of the proceeds were donated to the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Songs It Was Only a Dream, The Voice of the Good Lord, So Much Love I Have for You, Of Love or Friendship, Glory Alleluia, My Friend Has Left Me, Do Not Pity Me, A Child, To Live and Give, The Ways of My Home. On October 28th, Céline Dion received 2 more Félix Awards, one in the Female Artist of the Year category and the other in the Best-Selling Album category, for Les Chemins de ma Maison. From November 6th to December 9th, Céline performed at the Olympia in Paris, opening for Patrick Sébastien. Around the same time, Les Oiseaux du Bonheur, a compilation album featuring songs from the album Mélanie, as well as 3 new songs, was released in France. This compilation sold over 50,000 copies. Songs 320, Too Young at 17, My Lifelong Dream, Paul and Virginie, The Voice of the Good Lord, The Birds of Happiness, So Much Love I Have for You, A Love for Me, Benjamin, Hymn to Friendship, 1985. In January 1985, Céline Dion began her first full-length tour in Quebec. Before that, she had only performed solo shows or as part of events. On this tour, Céline sang several songs in English, even though she didn't speak the language and didn't understand what she was singing. This was the case with What a Feeling, Over the Rainbow, and Up Where We Belong. On August 27, the album C'est pour toi was released. Once again, all the lyrics were written by Eddie Marnay. The title track reached the top 5 in Quebec. C'est pour toi sold over 50,000 copies. Songs It's for You, You're There, Tell Me If I Love You, Her, For You, The Birds of Happiness, With You, In Love, Virginie, romance novel, It's for Living. On September 10th, the Quebec channel TVA aired a TV special dedicated to the new album. On October 13th, Celine Dion, along with her mother and a Quebec delegation, met with Pope John Paul II in Castel Gandolfo, Italy. Celine presented him with a plaque with the gold record awarded to her song, Une Colombe. On October 27th, Celine was crowned the big winner at the Felix Awards, winning in 6 categories: Best-selling Single and Song of the Year for Une Colombe, Best-selling Album, Album of the Year, and Pop Album of the Year for Melanie, and Female Performer of the Year. In December, Céline Dion appeared on the soundtrack for the film Opération Beurre de Pinot and its English-language version, The Peanut Butter Solution, singing La Ballade de Michel, Michael's song in the English version, and Dans la main d'un magicien, Listen to the Magic Man. 2 music videos were recorded, one for La Ballade de Michel and the other for Listen to the Magic Man. Also in December, Céline released her first live album, Céline Dion en Concert, which was recorded at Place des Arts in Montreal on May 31st and sold over 50,000 copies. Songs: Overture, The First Time, My Friend Left Me, Tribute to Félix Leclerc, Bozo, Le Petit Bonheur, Moi, Mes Souliers, Wait for Me, Le Train du Nord, Up Where We Belong, So Much Love I Have for You, D'amour ou d'amitié, Over the Rainbow, Tribute to Michel Legrand. Quand on s'aime, pas brûle tes fingers, La valse du lilac, Quand ça swing, Les moulins de mon cœur, L'amour est enfant de bohème, What a Feeling, Une Dove, Les chemins de ma maison, Finale, The First Time. Thank you, fans. Céline Dion, another 5 years of career in the next video. Subscribe and like, thanks.